And we're live. Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
It's Tom.
And Rob.
And we are here live once again at the Regal Robot Studio in very warm New York today.
Gosh, yes.
Once again, this is a live video. We're doing a question and answer today. We have a bunch of questions people submitted ahead of time, but this will be live. If you are watching now, and I hope you are, then you can ask questions in the comments, and we will do our best to get to them and answer whatever we can. As always, we'll give folks a little bit of time to get signed on. We know we've just gotten here. I would imagine we're already starting to see.
Yeah, we have 2 people in so far.
Always look for the familiar names popping up here on a Monday afternoon. It's the prime time slot, yeah, 3 p.m. on a Monday, right?
That's Alex Arnold just popped in. Hey, Alex.
Oh, hello, Alex. Well, that's it. The energy of this just went like through the roof.
Can we get a woo?
We can definitely get a woo. We're going to be talking today primarily about Bib Fortuna, who we did talk a little bit about on the last one. This has been a long time coming. It's actually one we've been working on since very early in the archive collection process. We'll also, why don't I start with some of the other currently availables. We have the numbered edition of Rees. Folks that missed out on the signature edition, oh gosh, when was that? A year and a half ago or 2 years ago, whatever that was. It's about a year and a half. We do now have a very limited numbered edition. I think it's 100 pieces. They are currently available on the site. I think it's definitely more than halfway sold through. I don't know the exact numbers. They're all, made in our studio here in New York. They're all solid resin, hand painted, hand detailed, tons and tons of paint on this guy, lots of distressing and weathering and things like that. Definitely worth picking up if you didn't get them. We don't have plans for any other editions on this. If you missed out on the first edition, this is your one and only chance to get it again. The other guy who's much newer on the scene, literally for, both in when he was created and when we put him out, is the Jar Jar Maquette. So this is out here for 2 reasons. One, just in case anybody didn't get to see him, this is our first prequel piece. It was put out on, was it May 25th? We were just after, I think May 19th is technically the anniversary of The Phantom Menace coming out 25 years ago, which makes no sense. Jar Jar is Tony McVeigh sculpture, brilliant, brilliant sculptor. He worked on tons of stuff for Return of the Jedi. He sculpted the life-size Snoodles, her face. He worked on the Man in Suit Rancor. He worked on, he created Salacious Crumb. He sculpted a ton of stuff for the prequels and has been doing design work for The Mandalorian and all of those new shows. And he sculpted the first 3-dimensional interpretation of Baby Yoda, mine is in a case over there. And we have a dual signature edition with Tony McVeigh and Christian Alsman, who did the sketch of Baby Yoda, aka Grogu, for anybody who's getting mad at me for calling him Baby Yoda. But we did a very limited run of these. I believe, was it 99 pieces in the signature edition?
Correct.
And this is on waitlist. And what that means is if you missed out, go to the website. There will be a big green button on the page, and you can hit add me to the waitlist, and maybe you get your chance at one. And we can talk more about that later. Are we ready to start with questions?
Yeah, let me just read a few comments.
Sure.
Matt says, hey guys, excited for the release tomorrow. So thanks, Matt.
Thank
Ian
you.
says, hey guys, happy Bib Fortuna.
Nicely done, Ian.
And Joe says, always glad to tune in to your live video. Looking forward to this release.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. I feel like Ian, he's being very restrained. He hasn't mentioned a Man yet, and it's been about 3 minutes.
It's early.
Yeah.
Tiki Man's in the house.
Oh, nice.
And Gordon says, if you can read this, I can see you.
I thought he was going to be like, hey, guys, where's the bathroom key?
Let's pop up.
Gordon Tarpley is working with us in the studio this week. He's in the other room.
He's in the house.
And apparently he's on his phone instead of working. So. Well, awesome. Yeah, no, good to see everybody here. It's we need to like Tiki Man. Like, is there a name we can call you? Name. It's just Tiki Man. I feel like this guy's very. I don't know what's going on here.
Christian came in. I'm sorry, Christopher. He said, "What's happening, guys?" Tony, hey guys.
Oh, nice.
And fellow Roboteers.
Now I know which Tony that is. Yes.
You mean like ears?
Roboteer. Well, and he's got the robot has a little bit of Rocketeer
two
fin.
monocles for the ears. We won't get sued.
So yeah, Bib Fortuna, you say, Ian? I'll allow it. Rob knows how I feel about puns. The more, the better.
Yes.
So yeah, tomorrow is the launch of this guy, and he was originally supposed to be after Max Rebo, who's way up in a corner over here. He was going to be the next release. But when we started making everything signature editions, which they weren't necessarily going to be until Max did, cause such a stir at Celebration, then we wanted to space out the Phil Tippett ones a little bit so that we could get some of the other guys in there, because we had just done the Tauntaun with Phil Tippett, then we had done Max Rebo with Phil Tippett, and I was just kind of like, you know what? We didn't want it to be the Phil show. Even though as head of department for Return of the Jedi, it was literally the Phil show.
The Phil show.
Yeah. But I'm really, really excited to finally get this guy out there. I think this is one of the really cool maquettes. He's incredibly challenging from a mold and cast perspective, and I'm really proud of what the gang were able to do with that. He's got just all these little undercuts and loops all around on him, under his chin, little dangly bits, dangling bit of his tentacle there, holes in the back behind the tentacles. It's stuff that people don't think about unless you make things for a living. But we saw the original maquette and we're like, boy, once again, Phil just was not considering us when he was sculpting these things. Like, can you believe it? So hopefully, or rather happily, the castings on these came out really cool. We captured all those loops. We didn't have to cheat anything. And now it's just been a matter of the team casting them and painting them. And what we've been doing is running them in between other stuff as we've had a little downtime here and there. And what that means is as people order these, they'll be able to go relatively right out if you're paying in full. So anybody who orders these tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern, live on the Regal Robot website. You can go to the site right now if you want to see more photos of it. There are 2 editions. I'm sure we'll talk about those. But yeah, our thought on these is if you're paying in full, it'll probably be less than a week that yours ships out. If you're putting it on a payment plan, then it will be when the payment plan is done within whatever our release or our shipping schedule is at the time. And usually what that would mean is you pay off your plan and usually a week or 2 things go right out. There are still some more of these to paint in the edition, but I think they're all cast at this point, and like, oh gosh, it's got to be like 60 or 70% of them are already painted, and that usually is about how many people are paying in full versus payment plan. So if you're paying in full, you're going to have your bib home and part of your collection pretty soon. You want to dig into some? Yeah,
Ian says, I love how bold Phil is with color in his maquettes, and Bib is a good example of that. And then he writes, a man too, of course. You gotta keep him in there.
I mean, when you look at most of the people's designs, like we've gotten to study all of these different designs from all these different people, and it's like most of them you can really peg down a style. Mm-hmm. I feel like Phil is
he's all over the place.
There's no limitations to his
wild. I think it's his style.
Yeah, and there's ones that we'll pick out and we're like, that's probably Phil just because it's weird. Mm-hmm. But like you never look at it and go like, oh well, that's the only Phil could sculpt that way. Like he's really good at approaching a blank canvas.
All right, Christopher has a good question. This is swaying a little bit from Bib, but how many more different artists will there be signing for your maquette series? Is there anybody left who we haven't really tapped?
We haven't had Kirk Thatcher do one yet.
Right, that's a good one.
So and we would love to. There's a few designs he did. They weren't used in the movie, so they're maybe they are not going to be right away. But there's definitely you know, there's certainly one that we like a
yeah,
lot.
we love that one.
I think other than him, I don't know that there's. I'm trying to picture the rest of.
Yeah.
Where's my copy of the Smithsonian Magazine? Yeah. I don't know that there are others. I don't want to say it 100%. I guess, yeah, I can think of one or two others that, for various reasons, may or may not happen. And there's, unfortunately, a couple of the people are no longer with us. So there's that, like Wesley Seeds or Dan Howard.
We could say there will be new Legacy Edition.
That, I think, is, yeah, that's the thing. You know, beyond, so, yeah, are there more people that will be signing? Possibly. Are there going to be new people doing Legacy Editions? Definitely. Yep. Definitely.
All right. This is swaying a little bit too from Bib, but let's talk about this.
Sure.
I have a question live, and I also have a question that someone posted earlier. So Mike was saying, I saw you'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. Will you have a booth? And just to follow up on that, Alex is asking, are we going to be live streaming our appearance there?
Ooh. So one, no booth for us at San Diego Comic-Con. We were actually asked by Lucasfilm to come down and be a part of their high-end collectibles panel. It is usually about an hour long, and there's maybe 3 or 4 licensees that all get to talk about what they're doing and present things to folks. It'll be a place for us to share some new stuff that we have in the works that maybe we haven't shared yet. It's also part of the reason we're holding a couple of things back that maybe we were going to release in June, July when we found out this was coming. Lucasfilm likes to make a little bit of a splash there, and that's fine by us. We have some things to toss in the water and make a splash with.
Can we say the item will be showing for the first time? There is one particular item.
Do we? I don't
Not
know.
say what it is. But can we say what?
The Return of the Jedi prop replica?
That would be it.
So yes. So our Return of the Jedi prop replica that we thought we were going to release probably in, you know, May-ish originally. We held back for a couple of reasons just in terms of development, and now where we were nearing the time where we thought we were going to release it, we found out we were doing this Comic-Con thing, and we thought that's a really neat thing to put to bring at that panel. For Alex's question about, was it Alex that asked if it would live stream? I don't know. A lot of times they don't allow that for those panels.
We can probably try and have it taped and then share it.
Yeah, I know that at least one of them, Gabe at Star Wars Replicas, taped. We're old. Video recorded the panel and put it up on YouTube after. I'm sure there's other news sites, Rebel Scum, things like that would do that as well. But I hope that people do that and more people can see it. I think after the fact, if it's not out there on its own, I think maybe we could do something where we take our PowerPoint presentation from it and make a version of it that could be a little short video, or put it in the... I think it's a perfect thing for our Regal Robot Fan and Collector Showcase Facebook group, which, by the way, if you're watching this and you're not already in it, go to Facebook, search Regal Robot Showcase, and you'll find the Regal Robot Fan and Collector Showcase group. Not just our page, but the group. And it's a really fun place. Ian is there asking about a man all the time. And Tony's calling everybody Roboteers. But
we're nearing 3,000 members, and that means a nice
giveaway contest. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're very close to 3,000 members. And if you're already in the group and you're like, hey, I want another giveaway, tell your friends. Tell them come in, because the sooner we get to 3,000, the sooner we're going to give something cool away.
3,000 one will be good.
I think so.
We have some ideas.
I think so. We always have ideas.
That's our problem. Right. Christopher has a good question. What day of the convention is your panel?
Currently Friday. I believe that's the answer. I don't know.
I think it's confirmed. I think the time is
to us, I don't know how public that is. But hopefully we're not.
Maybe when we get confirmation that we can share that, we'll definitely share with everybody on the group. Get on the
That's correct.
More group access. You know what? Why don't you show a few of the Bib sketches?
Sure.
While I'm going through some questions.
So much like the last few editions, Bib is also going to have, in addition to our signature edition with Phil Tippett's signature there, you will get that. you will get the maquette. And if you get the Legacy Edition, you get the maquette and you get our new Legacy plaque. And what that means is it is not just a signed plaque by the artist, but a one-of-a-kind, hand-drawn Phil Tippett sketch. And it's the sort of thing that I kind of can't believe we get to do. It's something where I think, and I'll pull a few other sketches out, where, and again, you'll start to see Phil's wildness, I think, in some of these for sure. Every one of them is unique. You know, you might have some little repeating themes here and there, but they're all hand-drawn, in this case, pencil sketches by Phil, where he, you know, you literally get the little smudges and things where he touched it, and everything is just not a duplication, not a photograph, not a mimeograph, literal, one-of-a-kind, handmade art that Phil Tippett did and you get to bring home. And it's the sort of thing that I think is pretty darn unique in this category of collectibles. And certainly when it comes to licensed stuff, I like to think that we're doing a lot of work here to try and make what we're doing unique and to try and give people something they're just not going to get anywhere else. And, you know, we're very lucky in that we've gotten to know and work with these guys for so long. And you know, a lot of them I was lucky to know beforehand. Some of them I've gotten to know just through the process of this project. And, you know, it's kind of cool. There are folks who grew up, you know, I grew up looking at pictures of them in books, puppeteering things or sculpting things, or watched them on behind the scenes documentaries. And now they're actual genuine friends for, you know, decades now. And you can, to me, it's really, really awesome to be able to bring them back into this stuff and make them a part of it. Guys who maybe had an incredible career after Star Wars doing other stuff, whether that was visual effects or computer effects or whatever. But, you know, 40 years later, 45 years later, depending on the movie, to bring them back to it and to have them, you know, celebrate the work they did with the fans and to see people wanting to bring their art into their houses. Like, I think that's a really cool thing for them, and I think it's really cool of them to agree to be a part of this stuff with us, and not just agree. Like, most of them have been, you know, genuinely excited by the idea. So so it's cool, and we have a few more in the works, and that's going to be fun.
All right, so Brandon says, get 3 more sketches and make it a Brady Bunch intro. Ian says,
the Bib Bunch.
Yeah, I still think it's wild in the best ways that these ILMers are willing to do these sketches for us. Love it. So
agreed.
thanks, yeah, we love these. And Alex says, oh, those sketches are amazing. This crop of sketches are really, really good.
Yeah.
It
feels like each one we do, the sketches get a little better.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I don't know, the Ken Ralston sketches for the Legacy edition of Klaatu are, you know, we knew those were going to be great because of the way Ken draws, but those were really, really cool, but unique, his own style. You know, even the Pruneface sketches, somebody just posted one today it was a beautiful sketch by Tom Santamon, and his stuff was very, very even. You know, it's like very consistent, which was cool. Phil's are wild and loose. Ken's were super cartoony. You know, it really, like, they each bring something different to it. Tony McVeigh's Jar Jar sketches were really, really neat. Good, yeah. The different colors, the different angles, but like so much character, which you would expect from Tony.
Alex says, I love how these can bring them back into the well-deserved spotlight to the ILM artists.
100%. Like, whatever we can do. And it's funny, sometimes in the licensing game, it can be difficult to get the okay to put people in the spotlight like that. And we feel very, very lucky. We have a great, great partner at Lucasfilm that helps us in our development and helps get our stuff through the system. And, you know, very few times have we gotten pushback on that sort of thing. And he has very much embraced the same, ethos that we have with
He's
these
one
guys.
of us, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Ian says he's over here manifesting a Ken Rolson Legacy edition of Ula.
It's just like, yeah. I feel like I kind of think if he's manifesting Ula, he's got a chain around his neck and he's doing that dance where you're holding the chain.
That's a different live video. All right. Ian had another question. Where I need.
Should we do like if Ian does that dance and puts it in the group with the chain, then we'll consider making Ula.
Going back to San Diego Comic-Con, he wrote, "It would be cool if you guys did a live chat with us after your panel that day."
We'll have to see if the logistics of that can work out. Yeah. We're going to play that one by ear, but because sometimes you get in those convention halls, and let's just say with 70,000 nerds in one place, the service on those cell phones gets a little dodgy.
All right, I have a few questions that were asked earlier today.
Cool.
All right, Steven says, how do you determine which releases gets Legacy Editions versus not?
Good question. I just realized something, too. These people are sending these questions in early. Why don't you ever show me the questions ahead of time?
No, it's on the spot, man. This is live Facebook action.
How do we determine that?
Well, we've been doing pretty much Legacy on everything since the first one. I mean, I feel like it's
I think so,
like,
yeah.
As long as it warrants to have that,
I think,
and the artist is willing to do the sketches, we do it.
The one I can think where we don't have that is the upcoming, like the Return of the Jedi prop doesn't have one.
Right.
But that doesn't, it's not a character.
The Maquette line, I believe, as long as we can have the artist do them, I believe that would.
I think so, yeah. Unless you have something where maybe the original artist has passed away or maybe the character doesn't warrant it for some reason. But yeah, it'll probably be, it's going to be with us a while. You've probably noticed, we've been tinkering with the edition sizes on things like the Legacy Edition in particular. And that's something we're going to continue to do. And I feel like right now we've kind of hit the right spot. I think we did 75 for Jar Jar. We're doing 83 for Bib Fortuna. We did 100 for the Wampa, the puppet, not the. I mean, there are Wampa maquettes, but that's another story. I think it's likely that future Return of the Jedi maquettes will probably be in that 83-piece edition for the Legacies. They seem to sell out quick. Jar Jar's Legacy sold out in 4.5 hours. Yeah.
Quick, but enough time for everyone to get.
You have a chance. Who wants one. Yeah. Like we don't want stuff selling out in 5 minutes. Yeah. It's like that's so tight that there are going to be too many people that miss out. But if we can have something where 24 hours for the Primo edition, and then the other edition lasts for a while, so that the thing that we've noticed, we've got a lot of new collectors. And if you look in our Facebook group, there are people who have amazing collections. I'm thinking of Steven, who has just posted an incredible picture of the Salacious Crumb the other day, but an amazing collection of Regal Robot stuff. But he was pretty late to the game,
right?
And we try to have it where you can go to our website and still buy things. So the Primo editions on these things, the Legacy editions, or if it's a signature and a number, those smaller editions are made to sell out pretty quick. The lesser edition, quote unquote, the standard editions are things that we hope are going to be around for a little while, so that as people do discover us, they're going to be able to join in the fun and start putting a collection together. And maybe they have to find a few on eBay, but they don't have to go crazy.
John has a very good question. If there's a maquette where the artist isn't with us, would there be only one edition since no legacy and no signature?
That's a good question, and I would say probably.
Most likely, yeah.
Most likely. In one case, I think the nearest edition we can talk about with that was with Droopy McCool, who we did only one edition for, but it was a signature edition. And what we did there was, because Wesley Seeds, who sculpted it, had passed away. And by the way, apologies, in a previous video I said Dan Howard for that. It was Wesley Seeds. Wesley Seeds, who sculpted that, had passed away, but Dan Howard and Jeannie Lauren fabricated the actual costume for Droopy McCool. And Jeannie wasn't a part of the maquette process for Jedi. She was hired after they were already made. And we saw that as a unique opportunity to bring her in and have her sign that as a person who fabricated the costume with Dan. So we'll always look at it that way too. By the way, if you go onto our YouTube page, we're Regal Robot on YouTube, look up the Jeannie Lauren video. It's really fun. It's like she brought her Yoda hat and original headphones. Like there's old vintage pictures of her with big headphones and a Yoda hat. She brought skins that we actually gave a piece away, like skins from like creatures in Jedi, leftover skins that we gave some of that away on the group. She brought a puppet character that she made recently. Super, super fun. Lots of energy. Totally worth seeing. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. There's interviews with a lot of ILM folks there, a lot of these creature creators, and that's some of the most fun stuff we get to do.
All right, Ian says, I am all in on the Legacy editions, but I think a signature edition for the amazing unused maquettes would be fine.
Yeah, I think there's, and that probably is another consideration. You know, how important is the maquette? You know, does oh gosh, like Happy Head or one of those other ones, like maybe that doesn't deserve a sketch. You know, some of the unused ones are still pretty cool, and like I can think
part of the collection.
I think some of them probably could even support it. Some of the more famous unused ones, but yeah, it'll be case by case. But I think what you were saying before basically applies to any of the known character sort of maquettes where the original artist is around. We're going to ask them, and we'll see if they want to be a part of it, and maybe and most will probably have that.
All right, I have a few people asking questions about anniversary dates. 2025 is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith and the 10th of The Force Awakens.
Oh my
Anything
gosh.
planned to commemorate those two events?
I mean, just the fact that I went probably means not yet, but you never know.
In Force Awakens, we could probably.
Yeah, we have a couple ideas there. And
Revenge
of the Sith, I would guess there's stuff we could look at as well.
Like lava or something.
Just lava, actual lava. Shipping is tough, but yeah.
We had another question about a date. Well, before that one, Ian says everyone should order through Regal's website because when you get. So then you get to interact with the always super nice and super helpful Katie.
Oh,
so that's really nice.
Thank you very much.
We will make sure she hears this.
We will definitely do that. The team works very hard to make sure that we are the best we can possibly be when it comes to that kind of customer service. Look, at the end of the day, we're an official Lucasfilm and Disney licensee. But this is a small business. You know, there's usually only about 20 people here total, and that's from the bookkeeper down to the person that sweeps the floor. That's it. And for us, a big benefit of being a small company is being able to have that one-on-one interaction with people and to embrace our clients like that. And Katie works harder than anyone at it. So thanks for calling that out. That was really good.
We have a lot of questions coming in. They're all good
Oh,
ones.
boy.
Chris is saying anything for the 35th anniversary of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
35th? How?
I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
This is also the how old are Robb and Tom?
Okay, so everyone tell us where you saw Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And I'm going to start. I saw it at the drive-in in Westbury here with my old man, and it was an awesome experience. And I was just the right age to appreciate the father-son aspect of the story and didn't, and it was really, really special watching that one. That's a big, big favorite of mine.
Brandon jumped in on that, and he said the Cross of Coronado. We actually have a few people asking about that.
Yeah.
Which is a sketchy,
tough
one.
That's a tough one. There's, I think you guys can figure out, it has some religious overtones. And there's some, some people might view using religious objects to make money as questionable. So it's something we've looked at. We've definitely examined the real one and very, very close up. I should say real ones because there's a lot of them.
Lots of crosses.
But yeah, I think that is something that is probably very low on our list for that reason. And I would never rule it out. And who knows, we just re-upped for another 2 years after this year. So we've got all of 2024, all of 2025, all of 2026, and hopefully beyond to keep playing in Indy's sandbox. So we'll see. But right now, very, very low chance of that one coming through.
Jason says, I skipped school in junior high and walked to the theater to see The Last Crusade. Then I went with my family that weekend and had to pretend like I'd never seen it before. I love that.
That's great. He's telling Indy to duck in the trials. Duck? What? How did you know? I mean, I thought I saw a duck.
It's Neil, Tom.
Yeah. There you go.
Ian says, does anyone remember that amazing Diet Coke commercial that was on the Crusades VHS?
I do, actually.
I do.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Well, I'll call it up.
We have to find
somebody. That. I feel like we might have shared that on like the TSD social a few years ago.
That's going up today on Regal site.
Nice.
On the
what day is the 35th anniversary of Last Crusade?
We'll have to find that out.
Yeah,
that was nuts. Joe says, Ewoks, question mark, question mark, question mark. How many more years until we see these maquettes?
So, you never know. It's funny. I do think, we do get some people who are like, when are you doing this? When are you doing this? Come on, it's been a year. And it's like, guys, it's like, there's a lot of things to do.
Well, I think we can say we're super on board with the Ewok.
Absolutely.
So cool.
Yeah,
we love them. We study them.
And the people who made them are great and friends. And we love working with them. So, yeah.
Speaking about friends, here's an earlier question. Any chance another Chris Wayless concept maquette is in the works?
Yes. Next question. Love Chris. By the way, if anybody doesn't follow him, look him up on Instagram. And I don't know if it's like Wayless Creatures or Chris Wayless something or other, but just look up Chris Wayless, Walas on Instagram. His feed is always full of really cool monsters. And he does a lot of paper mache and things like that. Really unusual techniques to make beautiful, creative monsters. It's really fun stuff.
Kicking it back to Bib, Tony says, "Congrats on Bib. Love the colors. An amazing maquette. Best Star Wars collecting line in my honest opinion."
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Tony.
More maquette questions. In a previous live stream, Tom stated he anticipated at least 3 more ROTJ maquettes before the end of the year. Is that still a target? In what months can we expand this collection?
Love it. Yes, I think that's still the plan. I think the question of what months, I think we're looking, I'm looking at the board, quote unquote. Possibly like early August, early October, maybe one in December. That's where it's going to get tricky. It's, gosh, the months go by so fast. It might be something where we nudge it a little bit, where maybe it's early August or mid-August and then late September instead of, maybe they're about a month and a half apart. We're trying not to overwhelm folks. And I think this is a great conversation to have, especially either in the comments here, but even better in the Facebook group. Tell us tell us the pace you guys want. Because we intentionally slowed down after about April. We had the first 4 months of this year, we were like shot out of a cannon. It was like every 2 weeks we had some kind of release. Indy, Star Wars, maquette, puppet. And Phil Tippett's hand went numb from sketching so much. But we intentionally slowed down a bit because that's what folks were asking us about. And I think, tell us what you want to see there, because on the maquette line in particular, we have a real rhythm with that. We have our production lined up. We do this stuff in-house, so we know the speed we can move at it. We have a lot of pre-production work done on a lot of maquettes. I mean, a lot of them. So we can kind of get those out almost as fast as people would like. But I would love to hear, how soon do you want them?
All right, this is a 2-part question. You kind of answered the first part. I'm going to read it again anyway. It's slightly different. For planning purposes, how many more Star Wars Legacy editions can we expect this year?
So I would say 2 to 3 for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second part is also, is there any chance for an Indiana Jones signature or Legacy edition piece in the near future?
Signature, yes. Legacy, not in the near future.
All right. Alex says he made his parents watch all 3 movies once they showed him Raiders for the first time when he was 5.
Oh my
He
gosh.
definitely created a monster showing in those movies. Yeah, don't say, Alex. He's also asking, could we see a magnet of the Grail diary?
Of the diary? That's an interesting magnet. I don't
know
know about that.
Read well, and that's
Alex, what are you thinking, man?
I mean, he wants anything in the end.
Yeah.
Ian's asking, will you guys be revealing any of the upcoming maquettes at San Diego Comic-Con?
I would say yes.
I would say
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think Comic-Con, we're going to try to. We kind of have two goals there. One, usually in a room like that, there's a lot of people that maybe don't know about us, so we're going to want to try and bring people along on like just what we're doing. I feel like we're in a club here, you guys and us. This is what we're making is weird compared to what most people are used to getting. We're celebrating the behind the scenes. We're celebrating the artists that don't get talked about. These are not just characters. These are history. These are artifacts that I have felt very, very lucky to just be around the originals. And now to have these, all I'm doing is like, we're constantly chasing that same high you get being in the archives. I can't think of another way to say it. We make every one of these so that when we pick it up, we go like, oh my God, that feels like when we were holding the real one.
Well,
That's
how weird
crazy.
is it when we go back and we see them after we've made them?
Yeah. And you're
Very
just like, oh,
strange
is that
feeling.
ours? Like,
Yeah,
did
it's
some,
like
someone's in there doing the indie switch, you
Yeah,
know, like,
it's really weird.
but I totally lost where I was going with that. But yeah, this is a line that I think we're going to spend a bit of time explaining to folks what we're doing, why it's cool, why we love this so much, and hopefully get some more folks on board with it. And then it'll be about showing what's coming up, you know, and we have a lot of stuff in the works. Yeah. And we don't have dates on a lot of stuff. We've been sort of developing as we go and then finding the right place for things organically. So I wouldn't expect that we're going to go in and give a schedule that's this, and these are the dates. But you're going to see a lot of stuff that we have had in the works for a long time at that show.
That kind of leads me to this question from David. Can we get an updated release calendar for the rest of the summer and early fall?
No. I would say Comic-Con is going to be the closest thing to that.
I think after we have the panel, I think that's going to give us a good
and I think months. You know, the ones that are going to be coming out in obviously anything for early August, mid-August, late August, whatever, August, September, October, those are releases we'll probably put, if not dates, some date ranges on in that presentation.
Yep. Ian saying, speaking of magnets, I am now obsessed with the thought of a Cantina crock magnet.
Oh, yeah.
We actually said that.
you know, that's...
Whether it happens or not, but it's slightly on the list.
It's one of those things where, oh, gosh. You know, so anybody who's in our Facebook group probably saw, we got to do that for one of our private clients who built a cantina in their house. And for that build, we got to make them, like a logo thing on the wall because it was Cabe's Cantina or whatever it was, or Cabe's Oasis.
How did they like that, though?
Oh, yeah.
That logo is everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's on cups. They got tattooed with it. Like, it's amazing. But so we did this stone plaque for the wall. We did IG-88 headlamp sort of things for the wall on the other side. We did the Spaga logo, but in Cabe writing as a window cover so it could get lit. Custom cantina tables, custom distressed cantina chairs, a bunch of greeblies for the wall, a 30-inch tall version of the Rancor corbel for this as a custom build, and the Cantina crocodile, which was one of the first things I said they had to do. It's like, if you're making a cantina, I'm making a crocodile. And so really, really excited. Sean Field sculpted that digitally, and it was really, really cool that we got to be able to do that.
Someone asked us as a question. You went over it earlier, but let's just hit it again. A few people. How does the wait list work?
Carefully. No, it's so basically, if an item is on our site and it says sold out, that means either everybody has already paid off their payment plans and we know we have none left, or we have more people on our wait list than we could ever possibly service, you know, and get one for. Generally speaking, if you see an item that has a waitlist button and you have missed it, hit the waitlist button, go on the page, be a green button. It will send us an email that says, please add me to the wait list for Jar Jar Binks Signature Edition or whatever. Right there, if we have had people who have canceled a payment plan or defaulted or something like that, then that might be one available for you. If not, that means we have a number of payment plans still going. And if any of those people default and one of those become available, then you're on the list to get called about that.
And those wait lists convert. So, like,
yeah,
I don't think you're going to go on there and not ever get a chance at it.
So if there is still a green button, that means there is still a chance. If the waitlist button is gone, it just says sold out, we're sorry, that is an edition that then is not accessible. But yeah, there's a few things on waitlist right now. I believe we still have the waitlist up for the Wampa Legacy because those are still on payment plans. We still have Jar Jar on the waitlist. I'm not sure.
Maybe it for now.
It might be. I don't know if we might have a Klaatu signature on waitlist because those are just starting to pay off.
Yeah.
That
would make sense.
But yeah, if there's anything you missed and there is a waitlist button, go hit it right now.
All right, Steven says, how's it going, Tom and Rob? So, hey,
going pretty good, Steven. Thank you. Is that Steven who I talked about before?
Steven, you.
Oh, yeah. We talked about your picture before. We love the Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, killer.
Amazing.
Shot. All right. You know what? This was a question. You actually spoke about it, but I'm going to ask it again just to remind people. How quickly will Bib Fortuna ship?
Real quick. I believe they've got 70 or 80 of them already done. And that usually covers on an edition like this most of the paid in full orders and even some of the retailer orders. So if you are buying one of the bibs and you are paying in full, only about a week it should be for shipping. Maybe a little more just because there's only one or two people that actually box these things up and it takes a little bit of time, like the physical time of it. But they're literally boxing some of them up today ahead of the release tomorrow. So, some lucky people, theirs is going to ship like in the morning tomorrow or whatever within a few hours of them going live. So, real quick on Bib.
Alex says, custom art coffee tables? Question
mark? If it's custom, that's something we can talk about.
We can do that, yeah.
That's a lot of coffee table.
Yeah, that's a lot of
But yeah, and just to be clear also, though, on Bib and on any of the others, if you're using a payment plan, they don't ship until you're paid in full. No offense to anyone. People do sometimes default, and that's actually how people get their waitlist opportunities to come up. So yeah, anyway, that's that.
Joe is asking, will you consider another Phantom Menace figure based on Jar Jar's success?
Absolutely. Yeah, if not Phantom Menace, certainly prequel.
Yeah. I am caught up at the moment, so why don't you give them the Bib rundown?
Sure. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, Bib Fortuna in 2 wonderful editions. You will have the Legacy Edition at $6.99, which is the maquette scanned off of the original artifact at the Lucasfilm Archives, hand-painted by the team here, lovingly and carefully, all of his blue markings and stripes, all his crazy pink skin, all the dirt and distressing on his shirt.
Why don't you turn him around again?
Let's show some of that. All of the crazy undercuts and the casting. Phil, how could you do this to us? All the detail, every single one of these hand-finished just for you. And so those go up at 12 noon, in addition to the Legacy Edition, which comes with a one-of-a-kind, hand-drawn sketch by Phil Tippett himself, and a signature. There is a signature edition for just $3.99, which comes with a signed plaque by Phil, who sculpted this for the movie and was also head of the creature shop for Return of the Jedi. 83 pieces in the Legacy Edition, only 83. If you're going to get that one, act fast. Get in at noon and get your order right in. If you are looking at the Signature Edition, that's 100 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. And they both go live noon Eastern, $6.99 with this hand-drawn sketch, $3.99 with the signature. They'll ship pretty quick if you pay in full, and we're just excited to finally get this guy out there. He's been a long time coming.
Hold up a few more of those sketches so they can see the other ones, because these
are
really good this time around.
You know what? I'll just lay him out this way if you. Every one of them, I feel like a carnival barker. Step right up, every sketch a winner. Every one of them unique, hand drawn by Phil Tippett himself. Really, really unique opportunity here to pick up something like that. Very rare that these guys are, you know, they're not at a lot of conventions. They're not doing a ton of signings. I feel lucky that we get to get them involved just in the signings on this stuff, but actually have one-of-a-kind sketches that we can bring folks. That's pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself.
All right, Steven says, thanks, he appreciates it. More photos to come, he's sure. Awesome.
I am sure as well. Yeah. Been amazing watching that collection come together, Steven. I'm actually kind of jealous of your setup. It looks amazing.
And I am caught up.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for being a part of what we do. Thanks for being excited about the behind the scenes stuff and the artists who made the movies that we love. That genuinely means a lot to us, and it feels so good to know that other people love this stuff the way we do and want to be a part of it with us.
No, one last question came in by Joe. Any hint on the next maquette? It's a trap would be a good hint.
Oh, sorry, Joe.
and Tiki Man says, looking forward to the reveal at San Diego Comic-Con.
I appreciate that, Tiki Man. And yeah, Joe, it's that would be another Phil Tippett, and we don't like to do too many Phil Tippetts back to back, yeah. So it's not a trap.
Ian says, thanks, guys. These are always so much fun. Can't wait for Bib tomorrow. So thanks, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us on this. We look forward to talking more about all of this stuff.
Quick, Alex, thank you guys for all you do. Trying to get them all in.
And then he said, woo!
And he said, woo, yeah. I haven't seen a woo yet.
If you are watching this after the fact and you haven't already subscribed, please find us either, whether that's on YouTube or on Facebook, and follow us, subscribe to us. Tell your friends about us. Join the Regal Robot Facebook Fan and Collector Showcase, and let's
3,000 members almost.
That's right. Join the fun. Talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.